Triple H confirms who attacked Jade Cargill. Paul Heyman's favor to CM Punk leaked. The best and worst of WWE Raw. Drew McIntyre breaks silence after returning on Raw. Scarlett Bordeaux breaks silence after Wyatt Sicks attack. Liv Morgan quietly sends Dominik Mysterio a warning about Finn Balor. The New Day segment made zero sense. Xavier Woods attacks Big E's girlfriend after Raw. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE Raw. The WWE Raw after Survivor Series was packed with fire and emotion. If you saw the episode, you know exactly which part was the most emotional. We'll get to that, but the rest of it was pretty big too, with lots of seeds being planted. This feels like the start of an extended road to WrestleMania 41. Things are only going to pick up from here, and we didn't even mention Gunther's beef with the Judgment Day. So, with that in mind, here are the biggest positives and negatives from tonight's episode of WWE Raw. Number 1. Best. Drew McIntyre is back on WWE Raw. WWE Raw ended with the return of Drew McIntyre, who hadn't been seen since his Hell in a Cell match with CM Punk 2 months ago. The Scottish Warrior hit a claymore on Sami Zayn after he seemingly attacked Jey Uso backstage. One less mystery to be solved. Anyway, McIntyre's presence was sorely missed on the show. His in-ring and character work will make WWE Raw even better than it is, especially after having the greatest match of the year in his last appearance. Welcome back, Drew McIntyre. Number 2. Worst. Butch Pete loses. Well, this was a waste of time. Not only did R-Truth vs. Pete Dunne take minutes away from Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn's main event on WWE Raw, but the wrong man won. After mistakenly being called Butch by Truth for so long, you'd think Dunne would finally get some revenge. That wasn't the case. Instead, the Bruiserweight lost via roll-up. It's unfortunate to see how far he's fallen after what seemed to be a career-changing feud with Sheamus. Number 3. Best. Seth Rollins teases a turn. While we touched on Drew McIntyre's return and the main event of WWE Raw, the promo that set it up was excellent. What started as CM Punk implying he wanted to main event WrestleMania 41 led to a brawl between him and Seth Rollins before Jey Uso and Sami Zayn broke them up. The Visionary then criticized the honorary use for teaming with Roman Reigns in War Games, even calling him stupid. Zayn is always great as the babyface who fights from underneath, especially when he has enough fire within him. The unseen backstage attack on Uso got that out of him, even if it wasn't Rollins who did it. Regardless, this feels like the start of a slow-burning heel turn ahead of his potential rivalry with Punk. Number 4. Best and worst. 10 years and it's over. The only reason the New Day segment can be considered a worst is because of how they broke our hearts. No matter what happens, they will never be the same again. This was masterfully done, with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston initially being set to part ways amicably before Big E returned. He declared that he would be their managers until he was cleared to return to the ring. Everything seemed positive until it wasn't. Woods and Kingston completely tore into Big E, with the common theme being he abandoned them. He did not return to their side after breaking his neck in March 2022. And while the powerhouse of positivity moved on, the New Day suffered from it. They turned heel on their brother in the most heartbreaking way possible on WWE Raw, bringing up his projects, desk job, and even his girlfriend. Big E couldn't even do anything about it, at least until he is cleared. However, this now means Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are more strongly bonded than ever. At least the 2 active members of the New Day are still together. That's still something, right? Drew McIntyre breaks silence after returning on Raw. After nearly 2 months, Drew McIntyre is back in WWE. This was his first appearance since the Bad Blood Premium Live event, where the Scottish Warrior and CM Punk tore each other apart inside Hell in a Cell. McIntyre's return came at the end of the Raw after Survivor Series, as he attacked Sami Zayn following his defeat to Seth Rollins. And, while we didn't see it, the former World Heavyweight Champion was seemingly responsible for the backstage attack on Jey Uso. Shortly after he returned, McIntyre took to Instagram to send a video message to the WWE Universe. He said that we should disregard everything that is said about him unless it comes from an official source like himself or the company. If you don't hear it from me, live on WWE TV or on my social channels, assume every single thing you hear about Drew McIntyre is BS. Oh, how soon you all forget, he said. While much has been reported about the potential reasons for his WWE absence, Drew McIntyre is now back on our screens. It will be interesting to see what he does next, following his attacks on Sami Zayn and Jey Uso on Raw. The ending of the recent Raw left fans stunned when Drew McIntyre, as Rollins made his way out of the ring, emerged and delivered a devastating claymore. One of the reasons why the Scottish Warrior returned on Raw this week could be CM Punk. CM Punk has been the talk of the town over the past few weeks due to his ongoing storyline with the Bloodline. The pairing of Punk and Roman Reigns has generated massive social media engagement, and the name of the Second City Saint is everywhere. With Punk gaining so much attention, it's clear that Drew McIntyre isn't pleased. As a result, he decided to return to WWE Raw to grab some of the spotlight for himself. The rivalry between Drew McIntyre and the Bloodline seems never-ending, as Roman Reigns' faction has cost the Scottish Warrior several major opportunities. Now that Drew has seemingly settled his issues with CM Punk, it's likely that he will refocus on the Bloodline and settle the score with them. This could also explain why Drew McIntyre attacked Sami Zayn upon his return to the Red brand. The alliance between Roman Reigns and CM Punk was a one-time deal for both stars, but the situation is different with Punk and the other Bloodline members. During the opening of the recent Raw, the best in the world shared a handshake with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. This indicates that the OG Bloodline members have a good relationship with him. Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins share a similar hatred for CM Punk, which could be the motivation behind the return of the Scottish Warrior. With the OG Bloodline members siding with Punk, this likely didn't sit well with Drew. As a result, the Scottish Warrior returned to WWE Raw to attack Sami Zayn, sending a message about what could happen if they continue aligning with CM Punk. This could plant seeds for a match between Reigns and McIntyre in the near future. Scarlett Bordeaux breaks silence after Wyatt Sicks' attack. The Wyatt Sicks and the Final Testament have been embroiled in a heated feud on WWE Raw over the past few weeks. The Wyatts have been playing mind games with Karrion Kross and his allies, escalating the tension. Last week on Raw, Wyatt Sicks' Nikki Cross launched a backstage attack on Cross's wife, Scarlett Bordeaux. She left a chilling message, "Everything has something to lose," written on a mirror in the dressing room. Furious about the attack, Cross addressed the Wyatts during the latest episode of Raw. He called out Bo Dallas, demanding he show up in the arena next week on the Red brand. Scarlett also sent a cryptic message during the show, addressing the attack and its implications. In her most recent post on X, Scarlett questioned Nikki Cross's alliance with Bo Dallas. She asked why she was aligning with Wyatt Sicks, especially after what happened to her best friend Alexa Bliss when she became involved with Bray Wyatt years ago. Once upon a time, her best friend was corrupted by who? So why is she standing next to him? The devils you know versus the devils you don't. Think about it, Scarlett wrote. It will be interesting to see how the confrontation between Karrion Kross and Bo Dallas plays out on WWE Raw next week. Liv Morgan quietly sends Dominik Mysterio a warning about Finn Balor. Liv Morgan sent Dominik Mysterio a quiet message, asking him one thing during WWE Raw. Now, there's even more tension within the group. While Judgment Day is trying its best to establish its dominance on WWE Raw, things are not really working out. At Survivor Series, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez lost their match. Finn Balor has been foiled repeatedly when he's gone after Damian Priest. The tag team titles are hardly ever defended. In addition, there's tension within them. With Finn Balor and Liv Morgan having clearly different objectives, it's difficult to see how things will last. On Raw, Finn Balor was walking away to talk about getting a world title shot from Gunther after having messed up Damian Priest's chances at Survivor Series. However, after Balor had taken some shots at Morgan and Rodriguez after their loss, she was not about to trust him. The fact that he was also taking repeated shots at Dominik Mysterio after having promised to stay away from Damian Priest didn't sit well with her. She quietly told Mysterio to go after Balor left, and keep an eye on him, sending him after the star. This led to Dominik Mysterio getting a match against Gunther later in the night, as he was following Balor around when he confronted the champion. "Dominik, Raquel and I have a match tonight, so can you go keep an eye on him, please?" It remains to be seen what's next in the group. The New Day segment made zero sense. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo recently spoke about how the New Day segment played out on Raw. Big E joined Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods to celebrate a decade of being a team. The New Day's 10th anniversary celebrations quickly turned sour this week after Big E made his return. The former WWE champ claimed he would manage the team and cheer them through every night. However, Kofi and Woods were not interested and berated their team member for leaving them alone after he got injured. This week on Legion of Raw, Vince Russo said that the entire segment was ridiculous. He felt it was terrible to book two of Big E's closest friends taunting him for staying away after he broke his neck. The veteran writer claimed that the whole segment didn't make any sense. That Kofi Woods thing made zero sense. My god, bro. The dude broke his freaking neck, and you want me to believe that two of his closest friends are gonna cut a promo on him because he broke his neck? That was beyond unbelievable. The segment ended on a grim note as Big E was forced to walk away from the New Day. The camera then panned to Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, who claimed that it would just be the two of them moving forward. It will be interesting to see what lies ahead in the future of the New Day in the coming weeks. Xavier Woods attacks Big E's girlfriend after Raw. Big E's WWE return on Raw turned sour pretty quickly. He made an appearance to celebrate the New Day's 10th anniversary and become their manager, only to be betrayed by Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. The two laid into him for leaving them after he broke his neck in 2022. Woods and Kingston said a lot of unflattering things. calling him a burden and claiming he chose his new projects, new girlfriend, and new desk job over them. Of course, Big E's girlfriend, Chris Yim, did not take kindly to Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston's remarks on Raw. She posted a bunch of angry tweets directed at the New Day members and even canceled plans to invite them to her and E's new house. Woods has since replied to Chris, who is the sister of WWE star Mychin. He claims to have dodged a bullet and called her cooking bland. "Looks like I dodged a bullet not having to pretend to enjoy a bland A meal," tweeted Xavier Woods. Meanwhile, Big E has yet to comment on the New Day's heel turn on Raw. It remains to be seen if he will ever return to the ring and avenge this shocking betrayal. Paul Heyman's favor to CM Punk leaked. Everybody wanted to know about the favor that CM Punk mentioned on the SmackDown Before Survivor series, War Games. He dropped a major hint of what Heyman could grant him on Raw. CM Punk opened the show on Monday Night Raw this week, where he was greeted by his War Games teammates Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. While Sami first seemed reluctant, he shook his hand, and Punk went out and addressed the WWE Universe. CM Punk said he was unsure what the future held for himself after his war against Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a cell at Bad Blood. However, he seems to have a vision for what he wants, and he pointed to where the WrestleMania sign usually hangs from the Royal Rumble onwards. Although there was no sign, Punk hinted that the favor Paul Heyman would grant him had something to do with WrestleMania. As you know, there are many roads to WrestleMania. For two fortunate superstars in the men's and women's divisions, respectively, the Royal Rumble match serves as a direct ticket to the main event of the grandest stage of them all. Punk said that it's one possibility, or perhaps Elimination Chamber will serve as a fork in the road. However, one thing seems certain: he is eyeing WrestleMania after missing out this year. What happened after this only escalated his WrestleMania direction. Triple H confirms who attacked Jade Cargill. Last week's episode of WWE SmackDown featured Jade Cargill being brutally attacked backstage by a mysterious assailant. Her tag team partner, Bianca Belair, was competing in the Women's United States Championship tournament at the time. Footage on the Titantron showed Cargill lying motionless on a broken car windshield, prompting Belair to leave the match immediately. The 32-year-old was immediately sent to a local medical facility. While Belair expressed concern for her partner, fans and experts have speculated that she could be the attacker. However, a fan pointed out a segment from the latest SmackDown episode that suggests Naomi might be the assailant. A fan on X noted that Naomi, during the segment with Team Rhea Ripley, seemed solely focused on the War Games match, mentioning issues with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, but not Cargill's attack. In contrast, Belair accused someone from Team Liv Morgan of targeting her partner. Speculation suggests Naomi may have attacked Cargill, who has felt overshadowed since the latter's debut, her tag team championship win with Belair, and her prominent role in the War Games storyline. Jade Cargill could solve the riddle and reveal that Naomi attacked her from behind and constantly tried to manipulate Bianca Belair to ruin their bond. However, when nothing worked, she tried to end Jade's career. Amid these shocking revelations, the former SmackDown Women's Champion could finally turn heel. WWE has been riding a massive wave of success under Triple H's creative supervision. Despite being at its peak, fans have pointed out a major issue that might result in a big problem for promotion in the near future. The issue is that the Stamford-based promotion does not have enough credible heels in the company. Turning Naomi heel would give her a new direction in the women's division, as with similar faces, the storyline might feel repetitive. Also, the 37-year-old has been a face superstar for a long time. Turning her heel would be a strategic move, as she might have a lot in store as a heel on television. It will be interesting to see what major plans Triple H and the creative team have for Jade Cargill's mystery attacker storyline and how it unfolds in the coming weeks.